She's gonna come up nice and close, sorry. Take a look at her feet. She's got what we call zygodactyl feet. Simply means she has two toes facing forwards and two toes facing backwards. Now this gives toucans greater strength and stability as they hop through the dense rainforest in which they would live in. Helps them maneuver and even flip directly upside down. Show our African pied crow. Now, crows are members of the corvid family along with the ravens, the magpies, and the jays. They're a highly intelligent group of birds, and they have been able to easily adapt to the movement of people into their forest homes. So these guys learn quite quickly there's a lot of food to be found around people. Unfortunately, this has given them the poor reputation of being dirty birds. We often see them along roadsides feeding on garbage and roadkill. So Mini Joe here is doing a little bit of recycling. Hopefully that will help change your minds about how awesome crows are. Because if you think about it, they're doing quite the favor to you and I. They help to eliminate the spread of harmful germs and diseases by cleaning up the environment. Now, one extra fact, and one of my favorite facts about this family of birds is that corvids actually have the ability to speak or mimic just like parrots can. But I think he's done a wonderful job. Thanks for cleaning up, Mini Joe. Off he goes, Mini Joe, our African pied crow.
Ostrich found out in Africa are the emus found out in Australia. So we're going to have Mambo, our Australian emu, make his way on out on foot. He's coming in on a little bit of a jog, but don't let that jog fool you. These birds use those impressively large, strong legs to run up to 50 kilometers an hour and jump 7 feet straight into the air from a standing position, and they have a stride length of up to 9 feet. So these qualities definitely help them in the wild when they are evading predators such as dingoes. Now Mambo here, his brain is actually smaller than his own eyeball. So his job was pretty easy today. So this round of applause goes to that young man right there. Thank you very much for your help today. With Emma is Dewey, and Dewey is our 16-year-old Indian flying fox. We are going to bring Dewey up nice and close so you can get a good look at him. But don't worry, he's not going to fly into the audience to suck your blood. I promise you that. In fact, Dewey is a large fruit bat species, one of the larger fruit bat species in the world, with a wingspan of about 4 to 5 feet. What he'll feed on is a variety of fruit, nectar, pollen, and flowers out in the wild, where they have a very important ecological role of seed dispersal. So what they're going to do is chew up a juicy piece of fruit. They're only going to ingest the juices. They spit out the pulp and the seeds, and that helps the forestry grow quite nicely. Now he does have his small counterpart here locally in Ontario, the little brown bat, which I'm sure you've all seen flying around your homes and your cottages at dusk. And as frightening as these bats may seem to some, they too play a very important ecological role of keeping the insect population in check, especially those pesky mosquitoes. But what makes bats so fascinating to us is, of course, being the only mammal capable of a true flight, made possible with their modified mammalian hands, which are, of course, their wings. So if you hold your hand out like that, that's just what a bat's wing looks like. Except they have 4 elongated fingers with that leathery webbing stretched in between, and the 5th is exactly like our thumbs, but it's represented as hooks, made perfect for climbing. Now Dewey's going to go off those wings today with a little bit of a flight demonstration from the glove all the way over to that hammock. Now in the wild, these bats do roost in camps of several hundred to several thousand individuals, and they have to rely on their eyesight to see any approaching danger. If danger was near, all they would have to do is drop their feet, flap their wings, and off and away they go. Now if you did notice, I did say eyesight. Although sight ability does vary among the species, no bat is in fact blind, and Dewey can probably see just as well as even I can. But hopefully meeting him today has given you a better appreciation and understanding of such a misunderstood creature that was Dewey, our Indian flying fox. Now, we're going to have Maybelline make her way on out. Maybelline is our Abyssinian brown hornbill. She is showing off that impressive 6-foot wingspan. Now that she's up nice and close, you'll get to see why we've named her Maybelline after the famous cosmetics company, because she has beautiful eyelashes. However, they're not hairs like yours or mine, but modified feathers to protect her eyes against the blowing sands in Africa, which these birds are native to. They did call her our expert hunter, so we're going to kick things off with an aerial hunt. We're going to throw up a piece of meat. And a beautiful catch by Maybelline. You did notice she only caught that meat with the tip of her beak. Now that's because that's the only place that her beak does shut, and that allows her to exert maximum pressure and force on her bite. Now when they're not hunting birds and insects in the air, they're hunting reptiles on the ground. So this is just how a snake would be hiding under a log out in Africa. However, this is Maybelline's very deadly rubber snake. That's her favorite toy here at the safari. We've hidden it just to show you how she might go about a natural hunt out in the wild. Now she is calculating her attack. She looks a little nervous today. What's she gonna do? She knows she has to grab the snake in one particular area, and that is the back of the snake's head. She's using that tip of her beak to shut on that snake's head, and that's because she can't tell the difference between venomous and non-venomous species. So she has to be 100% accurate. But in the wild, the snake's not going to lie there and let itself get eaten. It's going to put up a little bit of a fight. So this is where a little fun comes in for Maybelline as well as our trainer. We're playing a little bit of tug and war. So like I said, it simulates a natural hunt, but what it's also doing is building up muscle power for Maybelline while she is here in captivity. But in the wild, what these guys would do is they would give their head a few shakes and swallow that snake back whole. Now this being a rubber snake, we obviously can't let her do that. So she's always willing to trade that snake off for a piece of meat.
Now the laughing kookaburra is the largest member of the kingfisher family. Out in Australia, these birds have been nicknamed the bushman's alarm clock because they typically call at dawn and at dusk. Now they do use this call as a territorial marker, so what they would do is they fly to the edge of their territory, let out one of these big rolling laughs, and then they wait for their neighbors to respond. That way they know where one territory ends and the next one does begin. They're also very family-oriented birds. The young of one generation will stick around for about 4 years, helping their parents raise future offspring. At that time, they'll then fly off and establish a territory of their own. But I think he's done a wonderful job for us, so let's hear for Fez, our laughing kookaburra. These birds they do stand out quite a lot in our adult safari environment. However, their beautiful colors actually blend in quite well with their own, with the red and yellow fruits, the green leaves, as well as the bluish shadows of the rainforest they call home. Now, because they are so brightly colored, it only makes sense they too can see in different colors. We're going to prove this to everybody today, but in order to do so, we're going to need the help of one final volunteer. If you'd like to help us out, lots of hands. How about you in the black t-shirt right there? If you want to leave your water bottle, come on in, you can give us a hand. Yep.
Now on the table we do have 4 different colored rings, red, green, blue, and yellow. Indy here, our blue and gold macaw, she's been trained to pick out the blue rings amongst all those other colors and place them up onto the post. So the reason why we chose a volunteer today instead of one of us just mixing up those rings ourselves is just to prove to you guys we're not going to put those rings in the same spot every single time. We want to give Indy a brand new challenge every time she does encounter this puzzle. Now our volunteers go with a variety of different methods in order to stump our birds. Might be a messy pile, a couple neat stacks, maybe some decoys here and there. Looks like we're going with a variety of methods today to try to stump Indy. Those blue ones are nicely hidden though. She's looking a little nervous and we're going to see if she can figure this one out. Alright, she takes a look, she tosses the yellow one aside to get her first blue ring, no problem, makes her way over to that post, but what about that second one? She has to maneuver through all those colors, but she knows exactly what she's looking for. She absolutely can see in color. Indy's done a pretty good job, but how about a round of applause for our helpful volunteer today?
Well, as you can see, these birds are extremely intelligent. In fact, their intelligence can be compared to that of the dolphins, sea apes, as well as 3-year-old children. So it's very important to keep their minds stimulated, always keeping them busy and thinking. We like to do so by providing them with a variety of different puzzles, games, and toys. Now, one of our favorite games is set up center stage here. It's a hollowed out coconut attached to a rope. The rope is attached to the perch. We put the bird's favorite treat into that coconut, bird up on the perch, and then it's up to them to figure out how they're going to get down to their treat. Here I have Sergeant, our military macaw. He's an old pro at this. I'll let him show you out how he's figured this one out. He simply thinks that using his beak and his feet to slide down that pole fireman style is the easiest way. Then he just has to reach on over and he's got his treat, no problem.
Nobody's impressed with your bird, Emma?
Not even a little bit? No. Definitely a pity applause.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, don't feel too bad, you guys. Sergeant here and me as well, very used to that awkward silence. But he does make it look very, very easy. We do like to remind you all that we don't actually train the birds how to do this. All we do is put them up onto that perch. It's up to them to figure out how they're going to get to their treat. Hopefully, though, Maxwell can impress you with her method.
Well, every bird is an individual, so Maxwell here at the Gold Macaw, we're going to see what she has in store for us today. She might be a little bit smarter, perhaps just a little bit lazier than Sergeant. What's she going to do for us today? She has to make sure she spots that peanut in the cup, and she says, why waste all my energy sliding down when I can simply bring the entire cup up to me? But as you can see, the result is the same. She has to reach her large macaw head in there, and she's got her treat. Way to go, Maxwell.
Interesting.
Now I do have one final
That's a
question
great
for
game.
everybody. The answer is really easy, so just shout it on out. But what are parrots most famous for? Talking, exactly right. Well, contrary to popular belief, it's not actually the larger birds like the macaws that make the better talkers. Happens to be the smaller ones like the Amazons or the African greys, even some of the budgies or cockatiels some of you might have at home. Now joining us center stage is little Fernando. He is our yellow-naped Amazon. A little bit of a star chatterbox, so let's see what he has to say today.
Well, Fernando always likes to start off by greeting everyone. Pretty cheerful little guy. He's a polite little bird too. He likes to ask our audience this next question. Nice big, how are you? I do see some smiles out there. Now, one thing you can't tell by looking at him or any of the other parrots we have out here right now, whether or not they're males or females. That's because to us in the parrot family, quite often the males and females look exactly the same. Now, we do know that he's a male because we sent his blood away to a special lab. They tell us that through his DNA. We should have known he was a male. He likes to act like one. What happens when you see a pretty female Amazon? Yes, quite the little flirt. Now, I'm happy you guys thought that was funny because he thinks he's pretty funny too. Little bit of a comedian. By nature, though, parrots are actually quite playful. So Fernando is no exception to any rule. His favorite game to play with us when he's in the mood. He will catch our attention in this next way. Loves a good tickle. Now, they are known for picking up sound effects within their own environment, and Fernando has a few he's learned. First off, us drinking a cold glass of water. Few good chuckle outs. And the next two are different animal sound effects. He has learned to snort like a pig. Okay, those are pretty rude, aren't they? But we're not done yet. Why not? He barks like a dog. Not sure who he thinks he's threatening there. Well, he is obviously a very talented little bird. His talents do extend musically. Loves to whistle and sing. His dance moves aren't that bad either, so I'm hoping he'll share them today. What do you think, Fernando? Shall we dance? All right, let's try that again. There we go, all warmed up. Now he is ready to whistle. Keep in mind when he's whistling for you, it is different each and every presentation. Reason being, he's his own musician, loves to make a tune up as he goes along. We never quite know what's going to come out of that little beak. So I'll see what he has for everyone out here today. There you have a very lovely Fernando original. Okay, well, I'm happy to see you applaud for that. Unfortunately, when it comes to Fernando's abilities to sing, they're pretty limited to the fact that this poor little green guy has been learning to sing from us. We'll admit we probably weren't the best example. I'm going to ask you to bear with us and use your imagination. I'm hoping you might be able to recognize what his favorite song is. It's pretty terrible. Let's clear him up. Few coughs. I think a treat might have him back on track as well. Let's try this out. Sound a bit like O Canada? Yeah? Okay, let's try that again.